Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. Today, it's going to be for Millennials, the series review, and I'm also going to do a little bit of a catch-up. I'm going to eat a little bit of ketchup, spread it all over this room. You wondered why the walls in this room are red. It's because of fucking ketchup. No, I am here today to talk to you guys, and I'm not alone. With me throughout the day, I will be joined occasionally by some really awesome individuals in the live motherfucking chat. They'll be popping on in. And today I'm going to be talking about a series that some people may not have seen. And I'll explain a little bit why I'm going to get into the series in a second. But before I get into any of that, just wanted to say hi to everybody. Good frickin' morning. I'd scream really, really loud with the good morning YouTube crap, but no one wants to hear that. But I'm excited here to talk about this series and talk about a couple of the trailers that came out this week. It was like a clusterfuck of trailers this week. Someone set up the trailer alerts and was like, beep, 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 beep. This will be the week that we release all the trailers. Release the dogs! And then they all came out. But we're going to be looking at two of them today. Not all of them. Because that would just be insane. No, but the two that we're going to be looking at today are Jessica Jones and the Westworld trailer. I know most people are talking about Deadpool, Venom, Solo, all that sort of crap, but those are the two I'm the most interested in. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, the review of Millennials and also a catch-up for those two trailers, and also some random fucking babblery. Also have to explain a little bit about the next week on the channel. I may be a little bit MIA because of a death in the family, so I don't know how much I'll be able to get out here and babble to you guys and get silly. I have to get drunk and support people that lost people, because that's really what it's all about when bad shit happens. It's about getting drunk to pacify it all. No, but yes, that's why I'll be maybe a little absent this upcoming week, and it's been a sort of weird situation leading up to this. Anyways, enough of that babble crap. No one wants to hear about this dog shit. Morning, M. Great to see you. Oh, thank you so much. He's been sick for a while, and it's my friend's coming out from California, and we're all sort of we're basically handling this situation. It's my best friend's dad, who's kind of a member of our family as well, in a weird roundabout sort of way. So it's one of those get the wagons together, gather the wagons. What is that fucking expression? Is that the correct expression? But I needed to get out here because it had been too long already, so I needed to come out here on a Friday afternoon. I know some people might be Millennials. What the fuck is this show? Why are you talking about this show? And the truth of the matter is, I've never done what I'm about to do, and it might seem a little dirty, but I'm going to be straight up, right out from the beginning, that the creator of this particular show sent me an email. I'm going to read the email. It said, saw your review of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I produced a comic series called Millennials. It's free to watch on Amazon Prime. I'm hoping that maybe you could watch it. Love to see what you think about it. Okay, so someone who sends a message like that, you have one or two choices. It's like I feel a little awkward going into watching the series just by nature in that, because I exchanged a couple of emails with the guy. Really nice dude. So I get sort of like, oh, you talked to me 2 seconds. I think you're my friend, right? I know he's sending out emails to a lot of different people that do reviews and stuff to try to be like, I want to get information on my show out there. So I've gotten things like this before, but for whatever reason, I haven't looked at it. But this dude, it wasn't really a forum email. There was some bullshit in there that made me think he didn't say Curb Your Enthusiasm. He said I don't know, whatever. So I responded to it. And of course, since he wrote me, I loved everything about his series. It's the greatest series of all time. You need to watch it. No! But then that comes with that struggle. He's a nice dude. If my friend Bob over there put out a television series, would I be able to tell Bob that his series sucked? So it puts me in a slightly uncomfortable position that in the moment of getting that, of do I watch this? Do I review it? What if it sucks? What if I hate it? And if I hated it, do I come out here and say I fucking hate it? Of course I do. That's me. I'm an asshole. I can't help not come out here and say when something sucks to me. So I just wanted to get that out of the way at the beginning, just to be honest about it, because it's fair. It's fair. Camera 1, camera 2. Oh, shit, there's 2 of me on screen. What's going on? No one wants that, Phil. Turn that second camera off. Ah! Turn it off. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 2. We got Alan. Thank you, Alan, and thank you, M. Great to see you guys in the live chat. Great to see Mike in the live motherfucking chat. What is Millenniums? It has to do with millennials. I'll pass. Hey, Phil, I'm sure you've been asked this, but can you review Altered Carbon on Netflix? I haven't been asked that yet, but I've been hearing things about that series. So I'm not against reviewing that. I will definitely check it out and see if I'm inspired to come out at some point to rip off all my clothes and talk about it. But I have heard very good things about that series from a lot of people. So it's quickly shooting up to the list of things I want to watch. But yeah, there's way too much of me. Hey, great to see great to see Helen in the live motherfucking chat, and great to see Leslie M. You like camera 2 better? Hi, everybody. This is camera 2. Hi, you guys. Hey, the weird close-up angle. Hi, everybody. No one wants to see that. It's way too up and close. Ah! What is Millennials? Okay, so Millenniums. It's a comedy series produced. Wait, let me scroll this thing up. I want to get the live motherfucking chat on screen here. So let me scroll this bad boy up. Scroll this bad boy ass up right here. Where are you? There we go. There's the live motherfucking chat. So, what is this series? It's a series about 3 dudes and their adventures. It's not a very deep series in that way. It's a comedy series. The humor is definitely not reserved. I love the humor. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Is it a perfect series? No. I think it's an uneven series. So let me see if I can switch over here for a second. Where is it? Oh no, no one wants to see that. Whoopsie. I just flashed the email back and forth between me and this guy, and anyway, so put it up. I'm so unorganized. So this is the series Millenniums. It has 6 episodes. It has 6 motherfucking episodes. We got Jason in the live motherfucking chat. You are the best, Phil. Funny as fuck. Can't wait to watch Westworld again with you. Can't wait to watch Westworld. I spun the fucking wheel for you. Great to see everybody in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see all you guys. And it landed on reviews, Leslie. I live with a millennial. Don't need to review them. So this is the series on IMDb page right here. Now, what I like about the series, straight up, is the sense of humor. I think the sense of humor really works for the most part. The show gives no fucks. In fact, the very first episode is called Bang the Nazi. And it all revolves around our main character. This first episode revolves around the character of Ethan, played by Ian. That gets broken up with by his girlfriend, or actually stays with his girlfriend who constantly cheats on him. And they kind of follow his adventures from the perspective of watching his girlfriend cheat on him constantly. And it's done in a very fun way. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the first episode deals with him talking to his friends about how it's been too long of times. There's a couple of jokes I don't want to ruin, but where it's been too long of a time between the time that he broke up with his significant other, so he needs to get laid to get over it. So he needs to download some apps, swiping on some apps, and do all that sort of crap. And his buddy ends up just grabbing one of it and setting him up on a date. And he goes out with her, and the girl ends up being a Nazi. And he's talking to her, and he's considering, I gotta leave. I can't be dating a Nazi. And he calls up his friends, and friends like, no, you need to bang the Nazi. And then there's like a whole crowd of people shouting, bang the Nazi, bang the Nazi. And it's just kind of a funny moment. It's over the top humor. They got a guy named each episode has an entrance and an introductory and exit device. Whoa, that's like our bodies have introductory and exit device. In and out, in and out. And I just have to say one more time, thank you for the super chat donation. I have to wear a fucking silly hat. Is that what I need to do right now? I have to wear a fucking silly hat while I talk that? Bang the Nazis. Well, they have they go to a coffee shop, their Peach Pit or whatever, right? And it's ran by this guy named Tony, whose name is and the place is called Rigatoni's, and it's not a pasta place. It's a it's a coffee place. I know that doesn't sound funny, but to me, shit like that is like ridiculously hilarious. And they don't say it for like the season is 6 episodes. They don't say it for like 5 episodes. They say it like the second to last episode where someone goes, "Rigatoni, shut the fuck up! Your place, you don't even serve pasta here. What the fuck's your problem?" We got Lady Wolverton of House Wolverton. Great to see you. 50 Shades Adverts behavioral targeting. Of course, it knows what kind of porn I'm searching. My computer knows. You think my computer's an idiot? They know what I like. Hey, fill her up. That was Phil's Pornhub page. Yes, it was. And I'm more of a YouPorn guy than a Pornhub when it comes down to it. Less pop-ups for me, anyways, in my systems. If we're getting down to the down and dirty of it, more of a YouPorn than Pornhub. In fact, but Pornhub has a great sense of humor too. That whole Cornhub thing on April Fool's Day, that's some good fucking hilariosity. Whatever. But okay, this series is very funny in writing and very funny in devices. The theme song's catchy, but I would say the strong point of the series is how it's shot and how it looks. For an independent series, independently produced, it looks really good and it sounds really good. The production value, if you're someone that gets sort of swayed by independent film or something because of a lack of quality to the way it looks or sounds or something, all of that is perfectly done well on Millennials. I think on that end, it comes off as if you told me it was a network show, I would be like, okay, this is a fucking network show. And I don't know what the budget is. Maybe it says it somewhere on the IMDb page or something. But I mean, who cares? It's the guy who wrote me, Ian Niles, does a really great job of directing, and he's also the director of photography for it, and it looks really fucking beautiful. What don't I like about it? Some of the acting is really uneven. I think some of the performances are really well done. I'm not just saying it because this is the dude that wrote me. I think Ian is pretty consistent in his performance. He's pretty funny and generally a likable character throughout, and he has some heel turn moments that sort of come out of nowhere. And I would say in each one of the characters, there's not a strict attention paid to keeping to character a lot. A lot of the characters go outside of their character norm. Also, the three main characters, Jordan, Alex, and Ethan. Ian is our main actor, and he's probably the main focus character. We have Jordan, who plays the stupid character. And he's probably my least favorite of the three. He just doesn't quite have the same level of connection and comedy with what he's doing. I've seen so many better stupid characters played. He has a couple of things that are just almost unbelievable stupid that seem a little, I'm not going to say out of place, but it's just compared to some of the other things that are going on in the show, I'm less invested in every time he's on screen, and he's sort of a little like, okay, get this fucking dude off screen now. And no offense against Jordan, Jordan Lowenstein, Shabbat Shalom, my friend. He's a good dude, and he's like, he's funny and warm, and he definitely does. But there's just, maybe it's the way his character's written. There's just some sort of lack of balance with his character that doesn't quite work. Then what happens when I donate? Princess Buttercup, let the Euros rain! Let the Euros rain! Spin the fucking wheel! Hello, my friends. Bless, bless, bless. Spin, you get the spin of the motherfucking wheel! Helen, thank you fucking so much for the super chat. Is he hot, stupid? Yes. Yes. That's exactly that's what I mean when I say he's cute. He's a cute little guy. He's probably the sexiest of the three guys. He's the one that works out the most, has like the nice body and stuff. It's just that character has been played in sitcoms since, I mean, probably before this, but the first one I really remember making a difference with me was Tony Danza on Taxi. And I think he's the standard for dumb, beefcakey characters. And I think he's the weak link of the three, if there's a weak link. You may, in fact, think that our Alex Murray would be he is the deciding factor if you're going to like this show or not. The character of the character of Alex is the deciding factor if you're going to like this show or not. The show banks a lot on the fact you're going to find Alex funny. And I think as much as that Ian is the main actor of the show, and like I said, I think he's generally the most likable. And when I mean this, I don't mean offensive as in the things he says. The least offensive character, the one that you can be like, okay, I get the kind of character that, you know, I'm feeling this guy. He's all right. He has a couple of asshole moments, but for the most part, he is a generally relatable character. I think Jordan is too dumb to be relatable sometimes, but it's almost, oh, come on. Are you really this dumb? Kind of moments which engage you. Alex is over the fucking top. He is constantly screaming, constantly, all this like crazy body motion. He's a very specific kind of character. Almost if you took Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother and mixed him with Jack Black. He's and mixed him also with David Spade from Just Shoot Me. He's kind of a combination of all those characters. He has the show also does some comedic devices, so to speak, at times where they repeat a joke over and over again. Do you get my joke? Well, do you like it? You're either going to really like this guy or really hate this guy from a comedic sense. For me, he took away... I'm like, you're either going to like him or hate him. I was in the middle. But no, there was some times when I liked him. I liked him when he was part of the ensemble. When they had episodes that focused on him, it was a bit too much. There's a couple of episodes towards the end of the series that had a little bit more focus on him. At least, and I think he would be the biggest barrier for most people finding the show funny or not. Because if you're going to, and you'll know 2 seconds after watching this guy whether you can deal with him. He's one of those guys that, like I said, always shouting, oh my God, what, whoa, Ian, almost like Adam Sessler's character on X-Play sometimes too. Old character on X-Play, like over the top, like, these like over the top expressions, really stupidic, stupiosity. There's some really stupid as well in his own right, but not so much stupid, more actively ignorant in a way that he wants to be, like consciously ignorant. There's an episode that's almost a funny one, it's an episode that deals with almost a funny. It's a funny concept where this girl that all of them have been friends with since they were kids, it becomes single for the first time. So he ends up spending the whole episode is about how he's going to try to sleep with this girl that he had a crush on since high school because now he has game. So he shows up and then all the dudes from high school are there, like all the football team, everyone else. So he's in a battle with all these guys to try to get this girl's attention. And it's so over the top and ridiculous. At times you're just like, what the fuck? But I find him relatively funny, so that's part of the reason why I like the series. But I can see him being a deal breaker for some people, and the series puts a lot of stock in the fact you're gonna find his ass really fucking funny. But mainly it's those three characters, and I would say the main focus is on Ethan and Alex. Jordan, the character I mentioned before, the dumb character, he's less of a focus character. He's definitely the third banana, and he's not quite as interesting as the other characters. He has a little bit more of that, and I'm gonna click on his IMDb page, and he's gonna like be in like a million movies and shit. But he's got a little bit more of that amateur actor delivery too, where you're watching something. Say you're watching a Kevin Smith film, or I'm trying to think of some other people that like use their friends in movies, and you can tell when it's the comic book guy dudes, when like Walt comes on screen for a second, or one of those other dudes come and they're like Kevin Smith's buddy, and I am acting. Like when The Walking David, who's a co-host here, makes movies, or he does make movies, but when ultimately he's making, successful enough to be like, Phil, I want you on my movie. Come on out here, asshole. And I go there and act. That's going to be how I'm acting. Hi, I'm acting. Or like David Letterman in Cabin Boy. Hi, I'm acting. It's not so much that, it's more just in his line delivery and some of his pacing of his dialogue just comes off to me as someone that's still in the process of learning, but it could be just him trying to play really stupid. And where the other two maybe feel like cartoon characters at times, they feel a little bit more rounded. And I would say that this show, I wouldn't go as far to call it like The Mask or something like that, but it's definitely cartoony in the sense that these aren't real people. They're dealing with dramatizations or over-the-top looks at real-life situations. So, all in all, it's on Amazon. It's 6 episodes. They're like 25-minute, 30-minute episodes or something like that each. It's really a quick watch. And if you watch the first episode and you're not feeling the first episode, you're probably not going to feel the series. Like I said, the minute you meet Alex, the minute Alex starts opening his mouth, if you find that guy annoying, like, because I'm pretty confident that almost everyone's going to find the beginning of this series relatively amusing. Like the little editing montage that happens at the beginning about his girlfriend cheating on him. It's really hilariously done. And you really, at the beginning, you think that this guy Ethan is going to be a bigger jerk off than he actually is, when really he's a relatively decent guy. But when you see how his story starts, you're like, this guy's a fucking jerk off. He's a jerk off that's just going to get used through the whole series. And that's not the case. But it is a very funny start. But when you get into the 3 guys and their interaction, and then it's almost like every episode goes through the same device of having the 3 guys at a coffee shop talking about, an event or something, almost like a stand-up comic, setting up a joke that's going to happen. Or I was thinking of stand-up comics when they get their shows where this is the show about my ass or something. This is the show about anal or something. Or this is the show about fucking the Nazi. And then they have the whole episode where you see each 3 of the guys in their own adventures. Sometimes there's some crossover with character, but for the most part, it's each one of the 3 of them in their own thing, in their own adventure of the week. And then they come back to the coffee house, to Rigatoni's, and they talk about it. And every episode ends with Rigatoni, or starts before the credits with Rigatoni going, fucking Millenniums. Like, and it kind of, for the people that are like, yeah, fuck Millennials or something like that, it definitely has I'm not going to say a negative tone, but it's relatively condescending, and it shows the bad side of people as well as the good side and silliness. Like, these 3 characters are relatively good people, but they're assholes, and it comes through in the show. I think it's what Ian's trying to get across, and especially what's trying to get across with Rigatoni's reactions to them, and reactions to, because they'll sit there in the coffee shop and they're like, we don't want to order anything, we're just drinking water, and he's just like, fucking Millenniums. So great to see Nick in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see Alan. Great to see Helen. Great to see Mike. Great to see Jay. No, Jay, I don't have to do anything. Great to see everybody. And great to see all of you guys in the live motherfucking chat. Set your fucking shit. Thank you, Jay, for guilt those motherfuckers into hit that like button. But yeah, I know. Sometimes it's better to give warning when I'm going to come out here, but I do that enough with the after shows. These random podcasts, these random rant type things. Sometimes I just like to randomly come out here at times that I'm able to, especially when shit gets busy. But great to see everyone in the live motherfucking chat today. So I don't know what else I can say about this series other than it's funny. I found it funny. Is it going to win any comedic awards? Is it going to be one of the greatest series of all time that you ever watched? No. It's 6 relatively funny episodes and of a decent series. And I think the production values and all the time and effort that obviously went into making this series is is even better than the series itself, if that makes sense. And I think the problem with it comes from just some of the acting performances seem a little just not quite as like three-dimensional as I want them to be. And that's okay. It's compared to something that you'll watch like Misfits as a BBC show, or How I Met Your Mother or something like that, or Coupling, is that what that show's called? Or some shows where you just feel a little bit more, at least at the beginning, that these are human characters. And again, I think the highlight of the series is Ethan. Alex is going to be hit or miss for you, and Jordan wasn't necessarily my favorite. I love Rigatoni. Love them all. Keep it spicy, motherfucker. Phil, have you watched Peaky Blinders? Not Peaky Blinders. I haven't watched either of those shows. I'm more quickly to go to Altered Carbon just because it's newer, and I hear a lot of people saying amazing things about it. AM podcasting. Wake the fuck up, asshole. So there we go. That's Millenniums. Thank you so much for reaching out, Ian. Hopefully I didn't shit on your series too bad. But no, like your series, and yeah, fucking comment away. Come on the show, Ian. We all want to hear you talk about it. It's better than having my fucking stupid ass talk about it. But anyways, okay, enough of that. Ian's definitely a very good dude, and it's cool to talk about a series. So let's move on from there. Move on from my ball washing. Okay, Ian, if you could lower the testicles in my mouth right here, please. Beep 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 beep. Blah 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 blah. Ball washing. Send me more. Come on my show. Let me interview you. Have I ever watched Strike Back? No. Strike Back? When you said that, my initial thought goes to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I'm like, yeah, I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Great movie. Very funny. I love it. Holy fuck, Peaky Blinders is the shit. I'll definitely check it out. It's one of those shows that's high on my list. Oh, I'm high on my list right now. Let me write this shit down. I'm writing this shit down now. I have a fucking thing. I want to watch, what is it? Strike Back, Peaky Blinders, and what was that other one? Altered Carbon? Is that what it's called? That's a fucking interesting name for a show. I gotta say that. Like, sometimes when you just hear a name of a show, you're like, that sounds like a fucking interesting name for a show. Altered Carbon? It just fills me with the images of Altered Beast, one of my favorite early arcade video games. And the main reason why I think I got a Sega Genesis at the time. Not because of those Nintendo commercials. It was because of Altered Beast. Quixote in the live motherfucking chat, ninjaing away back there saying, yes, fuck yeah, write that shit down. Get some fucking Peaky Blinders up in this motherfucker. And what did I say? Oh, to Helen, our super chat donator, I spun the wheel and you landed on Joe do a bad impression of somebody. So Joe's not here to do a horrible impression. So if you have any television character, we'll do a horrible impression of Goofy. Oh, hi, everybody. My name is Goofy, and this part of the review is going to be brought to you by a new television trailer. Now, we're going to take a look at something. We're going to take a look at Marvel's Jessica Jones. Everybody. Let's enjoy. Yippee, yippee, yippee. And here I go, Jay. I'm going to shut my fucking mouth while this trailer plays and then talk about it afterwards. Shut up, Phil. Shut your fucking mouth.
Third glass tonight.
Put it on my tab.
You drinking to remember or forget?
Giving a shit won't get you a better tip.
I was feeling sad. Can't help looking back. Highway.
My whole family was killed in a car accident. Someone did horrific experiments on me. And now this super vigilante shit keeps coming at me.
Do you know Captain America?
I want to absorb Ailey's investigations.
You don't want me, you just want to eliminate the competition.
I never take no for an answer.
How rapey of you. Something happened behind these doors. I have 17 years of questions, and they are deep.
Jess, knowing what was done to you might help you.
We were made here. Me and something else. The only way to find it is to open the door wider.
You were brought back from the dead. The powers were a side effect.
How many others are there? Like me?
Let it go.
There is a killer you cannot control.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Jessica might not want a sidekick, but she needs one.
You're not super. You're a ticking time bomb.
Keep telling me who I am. How dare you? What if facing it makes me worse?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Depends on if I can get through this night without losing my shit.
Jessica Jones!
It takes a monster to stop a monster. What did they do to us?
Run away.
Whoa.
Like you to stay, want to keep you.
Okay. Holy fuck, Berg. Lettuce city fuck motherfucking shit fuck on a fucking pregnant stick of poopy cocks. Mother ass fucking shit fuck. Ba, ba, ba. Fuck yeah, Jessica Jones. Fuck yeah. What a trailer. Holy shit. Okay, I gotta watch that again. Fuck, man, dude. Shit. Fuck. One more time.
Third glass tonight.
Put it on my tab.
Drinking to remember or forget?
I don't know why that thing at the end with the clap just sent shivers down my spine. It was very purple. That's all I'll say about that. That was a very purple moment.
Giving a shit won't get you a better tip.
I agree. Felicia said David Tennant was a great villain in season 1. I don't know if they can top that. I agree. I also don't know if we're not going to see David Tennant this season. Whether he comes back exactly in true form, I think the shade of him, the purple shade over the whole thing, will still be there. I think no matter what Jessica does, because of the way that she was mentally violated by Doctor Who, but mentally violated by by David Tennant, by Kilgrave, it's going to be hard to escape that. And I think she will see him everywhere. He will be a part of her. I don't know if it's going to be something similar to the most recent Arkham game. Why am I blanking on the name of it? But where spoiler alert for the Arkham video games, where Bruce is haunted by the Joker, where the Joker is everywhere inside his mind constantly. He could never get rid of him. And it had a couple of really awesome moments in that game too, where you're like climbing up a building and you come up and then suddenly the Joker's face is just right there, like, hey motherfucker, what's up? It's Mark Hamill's cackle and shit. But I think you'll feel him this whole season. And I agree. I don't think they can top a villain like him on the show. And I think, like many other shows that I talk about, when you lose characters or you lose something that makes the show awesome, it's how are they going to replace that when it's your favorite thing on the show? Star Trek Discovery, I feel that way about a certain character that might be disappearing on the show. I have to watch to spoil shit. There's a lot of shows like that where you could say, like, how are they going to go on without that? Because that thing was the best part of the season. As much as I love Jessica Jones season 1, I would rank the Marvel Netflix series. Wait, the Marvel Netflix series. Jessica Jones season 1 might be my second favorite behind Daredevil season 1. I think I go Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones, then Daredevil season 2, Defenders, Luke. Iron Fist. I think that's the order, but I'd have to stop and think about that again. I really like the Daredevil series, and I like Defenders, I think, a lot more than some people did. But But Jessica Jones, part of what makes that season, I'd say 85% of what makes that season so awesome is, yes, Jessica's really cool on it. I'm not so much a fan of the super soldier thing with what's her name's character. All of that sort of a little bit dissuades from what the greatest factor of that season is. And I know some people are like, oh, he's overrated, but I don't find him overrated at all. I think fucking Kilgrave, David Tennant, kills it. Maybe I'm not as soiled on Tennant as some people are, just because I've never watched Doctor Who or never watched any. That was really, in a lot of ways, my first Tennant experience. So I just wasn't as familiar with him, so I didn't have as much David Tennant baggage going on with me. But I loved his fucking performance in that. I thought it made that series. So how can they recreate that? Jessica's an amazing character. I thought she killed it on Defenders. Every moment, every time they gave her a line, she destroyed it. And I think that energy, that comic, that timing, I think that will be good in any situation you put her in. I hope the series feels dark and dirty. And I hope it continues to feel that way. And I hope it doesn't get a little bit too... I was just going to say a little bit too iron fisty, or a little bit too over the top of some of the action. Because I think Jessica Jones as a character, we're going to probably see her powers pushed more. And in this trailer, definitely the production value's up. I don't know if they're just highlighting the few action moments in the series. I want to see even more of the mental aspects. And I think if we go and there's hints to that in this trailer. If they get down the more psychological route with Jessica Jones, I think that's where we can get into something great and even better, because that actress has that gear. We've seen her on Breaking Bad. I didn't love her character in Breaking Bad, but that's not because of her performance. I just, you were supposed to hate her character on Breaking Bad. So I think we can get into, they say it in the trailer, what makes Jessica work, and all those building blocks into her. And within that, we're going to see a lot of David Tennant, I think, or at least a little bit. I almost feel him in this trailer. I almost think that clapping at the end is him. And I mean, I could be making that, I'm again making that up in my mind, but that sounds like his fucking clap. It sounds like the clap of someone that sounds like the clap of someone that traveled to the 70s and had sex without a condom. That's the fucking clap. Fucking clap. Let's get.
I was feeling sad.
What am I talking about right now? Am I talking about the clap and the clap and fucking what are those pills? The
Can't help
Quaaludes.
looking back. Highway.
My whole family was killed in a car accident.
Oh
Someone
shit.
did horrific experiments on
Oh
me.
shit, Nick. Yeah, fuck, dude. Shit, fuckity, shit, fuckity, fuck. You just totally threw a wrench in my whole situation there. And I know this was from a while ago because somehow there's delayed chat, but I forgot to fucking put the Punisher in there. Fuck balls shit. Fuck balls shit. Okay, Daredevil season 1, Punisher, and Jessica Jones 1A. You're asking me to choose between pizza and spaghetti there. It's really difficult for me I'd have to really sit down and think it. I have a little bit of bias towards sorry, I'm blanking on words right now. I have a little bit of bias towards Punisher right now because of recency bias. I have a little bit of recency bias towards Punisher because it's the most recent in my mind, and it was so fucking good, especially coming off of Daredevil, coming off of Iron Fist and the Defenders, which were a little bit more magic-y at times, in threat of a better word. So the Punisher kind of brought things back down to normal. And in some ways, while I was watching the Punisher, I thought it was my favorite. So Punisher's a weird one that I need to it's the only one I haven't rewatched. So I feel like I need to give that one another rewatch, but on first viewing, it would be in the top 3 somewhere. Maybe 2. Maybe fucking 2. And I know I haven't watched Doctor Who. As a sci-fi nerd and as someone that is also a huge Quantum Leap fan, part of me thinks that I would really like it, but it's one of those things that I don't even know where to fucking start. And I'm almost like, there's plenty of time for that. There's going to be a time when I'm like, really old and don't have a lot to do, where I'm going to need to find a series I haven't watched all, and I need like 45 different seasons of it. So I think at one point in my life, I will probably give the Doctor Who a try, but up until this point, I'm fine with Quantum Leap. And I know Doctor Who fans are turning this off in droves right now. They're cursing at me, throwing shit at me. I've seen Bill and Ted in Quantum Leap. Why the fuck do I need some fucking Doctor Who? I got Bill and Ted. I got fucking Sam and Al, Fuck the fucking shit. Circuits of Time, my balls. No, I'm probably going to watch it at some point in time. Taka, who's sometimes on this channel, and Dig Taka on Twitch, and also add some stuff occasionally to the Dirty Issues channel. He's a huge Doctor Who fan. And I believe so is my cousin Gotti. And I know a lot of people that are huge fans. I'm not sure what Joe's thing is with Doctor Who. He probably does have a thing. We'll talk to Joe about that later. So thank you, Nick, for stopping me before I go too far. Yeah, it's tough. Daredevil season 2 is really fucking awesome too. I think it's underrated. A lot of people seem to be a little down on Daredevil season 2, and I don't understand the fuck why. I think in a lot of ways it improves on some stuff. It's more entertaining than season 1, even in some ways. I just think season 1's rawness gets me, and I think it's one of those things that superhero genre needs Daredevil season 1 to show how fucking real and raw it can be. But I definitely understand that. In the Kingpin, we get so much of the Kingpin in season 1 that I love him. But the Kingpin scenes that we get in season 2, fuck man. And all the stuff that we get in prison basically in season 2 is so amazing. Like the hallway fight, the Punisher prison hallway fight that we get in season 2 of Daredevil is maybe my favorite single action scene ever in this Marvel Netflix universe. And the Daredevil Wilson Fisk scene, the Matt Murdock Wilson Fisk scene that we get in season 2 as well, is insanely awesome. As much as a lot of people focus for a scene like that with the Joker and Batman in The Dark Knight, I think that scene rivals that for a great one-on-one superhero arch nemesis one-on-one meeting. Seeing the two of them sit at that table and Fisk intimidating the fuck out of him and warning him that, shit, dude, Vincent D'Onofrio is the best villain in the Marvel universe. And I know it's two different things. I know we've set up that these are two different. Marvel really wants this to be two different worlds because Netflix world's too good for them and the movies are scared. No. But please, if you bring one fucking character from this universe into the movies, bring Vincent D'Onofrio's Daredevil into a Spider-Man movie. Please. If you do Kingpin in the fucking Marvel movies and you don't cast Vincent D'Onofrio, I am going to fucking punch someone in the balls. I don't know who it is or who I have to find, but they need to be punched in the balls, okay? And same if they ever did Daredevil and didn't cast whatever the fuck his name is, Charlie motherfucker or whatever, or Jessica Jones. Not that they're really gonna do Jessica Jones. Daredevil's the only one of those characters I could see them and Punisher. Same with Punisher. If they didn't bring Jonathan Bernthal over to play Punisher, and they were like, oh, we need to cast another Punisher. Let's bring Dolph Lundgren back. Let's bring Ben Affleck back. But those three, I guess, are the three main ones that I would love to see. Not that I'm a huge fan, I'm obsessive with the Marvel movies. I just think that in a world where you have trouble finding villains that are compelling, Vincent D'Onofrio would kill it in a Spider-Man movie as Kingpin. Kingpin is, at least for me in my memory of the Spider-Man cartoon, which was definitely the spider bite that got me way into Spider-Man at the time. Kingpin is such a important character to almost every Marvel thing. You need the Kingpin. And I think with anything focused in New York anyways, in the Marvel universe. So I think he needs to show up in a Spider-Man movie, and it needs to be Vincent D'Onofrio, and he can be the only one. Even if you never bring Daredevil over, maybe a quick cameo in that movie or something, just bring him the fuck over. Come on, just do it. Great to see you, son. Missed you too. Wear a cup when Phil is ball punching. I'm just catching up on Phil. Have you talked about Westworld season 2 trailer since it dropped? Second trailer we're going to be looking at. Next. It's coming next. Clean shaven Phil, you look like you got a court date. A little bit. I work sometimes. Who would think it? I fucking work. And sometimes I think the beard can be scary to kids, so I shave and I get the baby face thing. So it's just growing back in. Don't have to shave for a couple of weeks. I can let it grow all crappily. Look as creepy as I want. Motherfucker. You guys are fucking amazing. They beat the hallway fight, I think, with the Punisher in jail getting jumped. That's what I mean. That hallway scene in prison with the Punisher and stuff, or maybe in the Punisher one you're talking about too. But the Punisher scene in season 2 of Daredevil, the reason why it's my favorite is because most of the other fights that they do in the hallways are those big action fight sequences that they have on those series, and all of them are fucking awesome. Like, all of them are awesome. I'd say Luke Cage's action's a little different, and Jessica Jones isn't quite on par with the other shows, but they still are fun. They use it for a fun device, and I think it all hits home in the Defenders and stuff too. But it's because it's bright. It's like this bright white hallway, and everything's happening. Anyways, so many awesome scenes in these series. I almost want to do a separate video or a separate podcast video or a regular video talking about my top 10 favorite moments in the Marvel Cinematic Netflix universe or something. Because as much love as it does get, I feel like it's where the best stories are happening in the moment right now. So here we go. Let's go over zippity doodah, zippity yay, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Here we go. Let's go. Let me continue over here. Sorry guys, just kicking over here. It's shit, the Boston. Wait, Alan, it's a fucking turd on Alan. I love all of you guys in the live motherfucking chat. You guys are keeping me smiling this morning. Speaking of keeping me smiling, let's listen to our good buddy Jay, who left us a message. And everyone, if you have anything you want to get into the show right now, I don't have the call-in line set up right now, but I do have the voicemail line at 781-990-8509. Again, that's 781-990-8509. What am I going to call myself? Let me call myself and leave myself a message. But let's watch the visuals of this trailer right now. I'm going to turn down the volume of the trailer.
And now this super vigilant.
Let's turn down the trailer volume while we listen to Jay's message.
Hey, Phil. I don't think you have to worry. They would use the original cast members because it's, continuity and a connected universe. So I guarantee they would use the people for the movies, but they're never bringing the Netflix people into the movies. Like, that's never, ever happening.
Don't tell me that, Jay.
You got a better chance of them bringing an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast member into a movie.
I think you're absolutely right about that. I think, dude, as much as I want to say, fuck you, you're wrong, I really do. And I'm going to play the rest of your message. I really do think you're right about that. They've made it so many barriers. At first, it was the same universe. When we were in Daredevil season 1 and Jessica Jones season 1, it was the same universe. They made mention of that, but then they changed it up and decided not to do that. I tend to agree with you that we won't see anybody in it, but Kingpin's the only one that I could see maybe, because Vincent D'Onofrio isn't like a big enough actor and a big enough character actor that they could rationalize making him the main villain of a movie. And I do think the Kingpin's super important in the Marvel universe, that if you keep doing Marvel movies and you keep going the way that Marvel's going, with going through stories as quickly as they are, eventually if you want to keep doing stories like this, you're going to need to introduce the Kingpin as a adversary. Especially in a Spider-Man thing. I mean, I guess there's so many people in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery that you could go through before you get to Kingpin. But I just think in certain characters you need it. But I guess you're right. There's no urgency to ever bring Daredevil to the cinematic universe at this point. You know, they tried doing a Daredevil movie and people are still talking about that. So ultimately, Jay, you're right.
Because people from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually interacted with people from the movies, like Coulson and Fury. They would never bring Jessica Jones or Punisher or Daredevil into the shows, even though I could make the case that some of them would probably be more useful to the team than like Hawkeye or Black Widow. All right, later.
Yeah, very, very good point as always, Jay. Thank you for the call, my friend. Thank you. Let's go. Felicia says, the shows acknowledge the movies, but not the other way around. Exactly. The shows have acknowledged many times the events that happened in the movies. They call it the incident. They talk about, even in this trailer, someone says, oh, do you know Captain America? We've seen the Captain America shield around, but never once are those the shit that's going on. Even it could be an aside. It could have been an aside in a shield moment in one of the Avengers movies. Should we call any of those people down in Hell's Kitchen? No, fuck them. They're small time. So something like that. But I think they've made it a point. The movies have said that it's a different universe. Even though they did, the closest it's happened, and I think you can find this if you do some simple Googling. They did a full Marvel team photo, like a big one, almost one of those like high school photos that you get done with like your whole senior class or something like that, where you're all standing around and one of those big, wide, huge, crazy photos. They did one of every Marvel every Marvel hero, and they included the Netflix actors. So at least they included them in that picture. So I don't want anyone in real. Let's go over to the live motherfucking chat. I don't want anyone in really, because it would be too much characters on screen and shit. Let's go. The Black Widow is hot as fuck to watch on screen, says Broke. She is needed. Hawkeye should have died in Avengers 2, not Quicksilver, but Thanos can bring him back to life to manipulate Scarlet Witch. The kid selling the kid selling incident videos in Luke Cage. Yes, big boy. Big boy down south, Al. Thank you so much for popping on in here, Al. Welcome to the motherfucking chat. So, I mean, I could break down this trailer scene for scene, but you guys are seeing it. It's awesome. It's fucking great. Well, let me just do a quick, walking through. So we see Jessica Jones outside ripping shit up in a fucking awesome action situation, which might drive her back into being a hero because she has to do that, or maybe she cost someone's life right there, and we're seeing her deal with the emotional fallout for not being able to save someone or having an emotional break of some kind. Or maybe she just likes to drink, as we know. I think if it isn't obvious from this trailer, this season seems to be much more focused on Jessica Jones exploring how she became what she was and having flashbacks of the torture that she had. We see, again, her struggles with having to be a hero, lots of drinking.
Eliminate the competition. Never take no for an answer.
How rapey of you.
How rapey of you.
Something happened behind these doors.
So, and yeah, we see her investigating, see again more stuff just of seeing inside Jessica Jones' mind as she's going to be exploring. Talking to Trish. I love Trish. Trish talk, again, should be a huge part of this season. I hope they don't focus as much attention on Trish's adventures this season as last adventures. I want to see almost like a solo Jessica Jones type thing. But I'm wrong. They're going to focus on everybody. That's all these Netflix series do. This trailer is just giving us mainly Jessica stuff because.
You cannot control.
So okay, so there it seems like.
Jessica might not want a sidekick.
Just what Trinity said right there, that there's some other villain at work here. Whether someone she can't quite get a read on or can't stop herself. So there's talks of her needing a partner or something. We heard a little mention of that in there. So that could be a hint to some stuff to come this season.
She needs one.
You're not super. You're ticking time bomb.
Keep telling me who I am. How dare you?
And then we see more of her rage. Could Jessica be the killer?
What if facing it makes me worse?
Somewhere in the season, she's going to go and have to actually deal with the problems that she caused and actually deal with her shit. No more fucking around. That looks like some sick fuck.
It takes a monster.
Dead people. Lots of dead people. Oh, fuck. She's not going to deal with anything. We see some sex mixed in there, which is always fun.
What did they do to us?
Right there. Right there. Okay. That's what I want to get to more important. That this is David Tennant. This is definitely David Tennant. That's a giveaway. Right there. It's purple. I know that seems like, yeah, I'm like, okay, let's look at the Zapruder tape. Back into the left. Back into the left. Back into the left again. But the fact that this scene in this moment is in this color is telling you David Tennant is in this. Oh, I'm pushing play on the wrong thing. Yeah, purple. It's they might as well slap a giant purple dick across all of our faces right here. David Tennant is in this season. And I didn't look at any like names of script, actors on the season or something. I don't know if it's spoiled that he's on somewhere. I don't want to know that if it is, but I feel like this is as good of a spoiler. The look on her face right there, what she's imagining, that's only one man can give her that look. So he's back, motherfucker. It's happening. Jay says Jessica Jones #1, Punisher #2, Luke Cage #3, Daredevil #4, Iron Fist #5, and The Defenders #6. Here we go. Sorry, I want to play that through one more time. Oh no, I didn't mean to play the whole trailer through one more time. I meant this whole segment that gives me shivers.
What did they do to us?
Yeah, that's David Tennant's hands. There's literally no chance that's not David Tennant. So yeah, that's the Jessica Jones trailer, and yes, we cannot. I'm gonna say now, without hesitation, confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Purple Man at least making one appearance on this season. I don't know. I might just be talking here.
You're a talker.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
Listening to talkers
Okay.
makes me thirsty. If any more words come pouring out your cunt mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this room.
Okay, enough of that. So that was Jessica Jones. I'm really excited for the new season. I didn't see it at the end. I didn't play the trailer long enough, and I just clicked off of it. If someone in the live motherfucking chat, I'm sure someone knows. Is it like April 22nd or something, or is it even sooner than that it's coming out? Well, let me Google this stuff. Jessica Jones season 2 date. When Jessica Jones season 2 premiere coming up? Sorry, I'm looking at this. Season is scheduled for release on sooner than I thought. March 8th, 2018. So Jessica Jones is right around the corner, almost exactly a month away from right now. So Jessica Jones, we do not have to wait too long to be able to watch that series. I want to try something a little different this year doing one of these Netflix series. I always hesitate on how to fucking review them. And basically what I do is I wait till the season's out for a while, then I come out and do a non-spoiler review, and then occasionally Joe and I will come out and do a catch-up show where we talk about all of it. No, that's not what I want to do. I cannot guarantee that Joe will be down for this too, but what I think I'm going to do is record something or go live. I don't know yet. I got to figure it out. Either record something or go live after every episode. I think probably record like a quick few minute thoughts after every episode. And then after it's all done, do a live podcast. Excuse me. Where I play every one of my thoughts after every episode or something like that. Or something. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I do want to try to record something after each episode instead of after the season, because I feel like I miss so much time of it with talking about the whole season as a whole. I feel like we miss out on some of the examining how awesome certain episodes can be in certain situations, and then talking about the whole season afterwards. It's like, yeah, what did I think about that episode? I know I like the season. I know I like that thing that happened. So I'm going to try to at least record a little something about my thoughts on every episode, and then come out and bring that shit together, and hopefully as a like the rug that got pissed on in The Big Lebowski, hopefully the dude will tie it all together. Go live, motherfucker, on your phone live right afterwards, after like a mid-season. Just do it. Just fucking do it, you fucking piece of shit. Later, Princess. Thank you so much for popping on in, buddy. So much. I will thank you. I really do appreciate that in the live. motherfucking chat. Jay says, I desperately want to see Kilgrave again. They could have killed Jessica, let Kilgrave win, and it would have been better for me. No doubt that I want to see, I'll subscribe to the I want to see Kilgrave again in that situation. I think he's an incredibly compelling character on screen. His power skills is in his use of them make him extremely interesting. Almost, no, I was just gonna make a Heroes reference. Just gonna make like a Matt Parkman's dad reference or something like that. But no one wants to hear that, asshole. So let's get to something slightly different. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you me shutting the fuck up and playing the Westworld trailer. Let me turn up some volume. And I did not watch this. I saw this in passing on the Super Bowl. I didn't really get into it too much. And in all honesty, I am staying as far away from preseason Westworld coverage as I possibly can to be as little. I Elmer Fudded that one. I'm like, as least spoiled as I could. That's why I was having problems with them. I was like, is this the right word? As little spoiled as I could. I don't want to fucking be spoiled. Let me go.
Look at this world. But this world is a lie. Look at this world. This beautiful world. Our world.
Holy shit. I was just going to jump up and down and make a fool of myself again and go and do silly jumping jacks and go silly. But I got to admit, that's not what that made me feel. That made me feel emotional. That made me feel the warm, fuzzy, gooey, ginger ale feeling. Like when you drink ginger ale too quick and it sends like that shiver down your spine. The sound design and the music choices of Westworld, whether it be the last trailer with what was it, the Sammy Davis Jr. song, or even the introductory to season 1 with the use of the Rolling Stones or many other things that I feel like I don't want to start naming songs because I'm going to miss Black Hole Sun or whatever. Just so many different tunes that they used, and I can't believe I don't own the Westworld soundtrack yet or haven't my way to it quite yet, which I'm going to do right now after I finish this podcast. That fuck, man, like this show, it's an overset expression. It just grabs you by those feels, sticks their finger inside your feels, then does the shocker and then will like slaps you on your butt afterwards, then spanks you, puts you in cuffs, hangs you upside down, then plays the movie Predator for you because it's fucking awesome, and Running Man because that's fucking cool too. I don't know why I'm thinking of Running Man and Predator right now. Then buys you ice cream before they do it all again on Tuesday. Like, that's what Westworld does to you. And that's what the Nolans do to you when the Nolans do it right. Jonathan Nolan, fuck yeah, enjoy. Don't know. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your name. I know the name Nolan, so I throw a lot of attention on Jonathan, but I don't know how much of it's equal parts, both of them working on this show. In fact, when they talk about it, she talks about it a lot more than he does. So I get a feeling like it's her baby, and Jonathan Nolan is similar to with Christopher, like, you know, writing for some. I think he's a writer, and I do think he comes up with ideas as well. But I think I get the feeling like more the vibe I always get is, and this is coming from fucking nowhere. This is just coming from how well he does with Christopher Nolan movies and now how well he's doing with this series too. So I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. I'm going to call it both of their babies, but wow. They, like, seriously though, tickle you, slap you, play the slap and tickle game. Like this trailer does exactly what it should do. Tells us what we almost already know. There's some more information here, and if you want to be, you know, a theory crafter, there's plenty to theory craft out of moments that you see here. But ultimately, it's just a continuation of showing us that the machines are pissed and they're going around killing people. I'm going to go through this trailer beat for beat here a little bit, at least talk over it a bit more. I had to get out the emotional reaction. I haven't fully watched this yet. And you forget, if you're into Westworld, and again, it's not a series for everyone. I understand. We've talked at length on this channel about Joe Dirty Locks being wrong on this. Joe's always right. I mean, you all want to know. You guys all want to know what the fuck Joe thinks.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep, Joe, shut the fuck up.
What did Joe think? What did Joe think?
But he is going to be watching season 2, so I definitely will look forward to get some of his thoughts, both positive and negative, just to offer alternate perspectives, because sometimes I drink the Kool-Aid on something and I don't see the warts. So, anyways, Westworld season 1. Sometimes I forget because I haven't rewatched it. I'll say that I haven't rewatched it. I'm going to very soon, April 22nd. I'm going to size it up, time up my rewatch right before season 2, to kind of try to feel it again. But I don't think I'll ever feel what I felt that first time watching it. And I think that's the thing. If you're drinking the Westworld Kool-Aid, what made it so wonderful was that week-to-week discovery of it. Okay, what is this show? Okay. That's pretty good. It's good. Well, I'm curious. Interesting. I think I know what that is. You know, some tropes going back and forth. And if you got it, it hooked you like that. It made you just feel these things. So by the end, when they had these data, and I always called them data moments. A lot of people focus on maybe some of the other robot android stuff that's been out there that I shot not name all of their names. AI, some other movies and shit that have been out. I tend to focus more on data from Star Trek, and I think I feel a lot of stuff that gets explored in the episode Measure of a Man with stuff that gets dealt with in season 1 of Westworld. And even more exploratory, you can see those parallels between the two. But it's that feeling you get, or I got inside. I can't talk about how you interpreted it, but for me, it was this feeling that I got every week. It just took over. It was like a creepy kind of like filled you in. Oh, it filled me all up. And before I know it, I'm like, my mind is taken over by by Westworld, and all I can think about is the show by the end of the season. And it progressed perfectly that my interest in it kept peaking as the series went and never waned. There was never a minimal climax that I had and said, oh, I never reached that climax again in the season. The ultimate climax for me was the end of the first season and how they closed everything together and wrapped the whole package. And again, for the second time referencing this in the podcast, the way that the dude's pissed on rug tied the room together. Or not, no, the other. It really tied the room together, dude. Good morning, House Stark. Just starting Westworld Season 1. Keep hearing good things about it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it wasn't overhyped for you, because overhype can ruin a good thing. But hopefully you do enjoy it. It is a fun little show there. So hopefully you'll like it. Is good at Bernard's. Is Bernard going to side with the humans or the hosts? I think by nature in this trailer, it would seem that he's siding with Dolores at a point in time, or at least connecting with her. We see him smiling with her. I would like to think that when the shit goes down, not all the hosts will be in the same mind space. And I think Bernard's one of the ones that, if anyone that we've seen so far is going to side with not killing all the humans, I think it might be Bernard. That being said, I think Maeve is going to have her favorites. You know, like when Maeve likes a human, that human's okay. She's going to stay with me. I don't know if Dolores is going to have the same sort of response. I think maybe Teddy too. I don't know. I think Dolores is going to be kill them all. She's going to turn into the Terminator, at least for a certain section of this season. That's my theory. Okay, see, I'm watching it. Can't help but do my fucking theory crafting here. For me, I think that she turns into the fucking angel of death this season. They need to fucking confirm Samurai World so fucking Analysis can watch this fucking shit. If it was what door episode to keep your fucking on, you had your doubts. For me, it was like near episode 4-ish where I was hooked. I think it was episode 3 or 4 too for me that really hooked me in. Where I was like, okay, this is, you can almost see it in our Discord group. I don't know if that still exists, if the chat still exists or it disappears after a while, but of watching my K-Rich and I think Broke as well and a couple of other people sort of being like, I don't know what to make of this. First week, it's pretty good. Second week, whoa, show gets a little bit better. I mean, or keeps getting better. By week 3, I cannot fucking wait. Fuck The Walking Dead. I want to watch Westworld. So it was interesting too. And I also, part of it is, and you always wonder with this stuff, part of it is it being surprised by something. A joke is funnier if you don't see it coming. Something's really easier to be awesome when it comes out of nowhere, at least for me. If something gets hyped up to me over and over again, I have trouble having it live up. Let me rephrase. If I hype something up too much to myself in my own mind of what I think something's going to be, how awesome it's going to be, all that shit, it never lives up to my own hype. I almost in everything in life, everything. I mean, whether it's, if anyone's going to like the pod, no one's going to like this shit. Or I need to downgrade something so I'm always surprised by the results. Otherwise, I go into it like, yeah, this isn't what I wanted it to be. So I almost have to curb my enthusiasm on purpose for something. So I have trouble when I'm like, oh, this could be the greatest thing of all time. I'm just going to fucking awesome. This is going to be the greatest video game. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. And I play it. I'm like, I don't really like this game. This game sucks. This movie is going to be great. You guys going to all see this. I can't believe it. They're going to do awesome with this one. This one's going to be great. They're going to do everything. It's going to or it's not so much when I tell other people. It's, again, more in myself. Like that voice that I'm saying right there isn't me talking to you. That's the voice in my head telling myself it's going to be awesome. Wow, I can't believe it. They got all those actors together. It's going to be the greatest movie of all time. And then I start telling my friends about it. Guys, we're going to all go to this movie. It's going to be fucking great. This is young me. This is my personality when I was a kid to early teenager. Oh God, guys, the movie, it's gonna be great. We're gonna all go see it. Let's all get together. Let's all get stoned and go see the Flintstones. It's gonna be the greatest experience of our fucking youth. It's going to be amazing. Let's go see the Flintstones stoned. How amazing is that going to be? Dudes. John Goodman, could you think of a better fucking Fred Flintstone? I wonder who they have playing Betty. She's going to be hot. She's going to be fucking hot because she's Betty. You know what? That's what a Betty is. You know, Betty's got to be smoking. It's going to be fucking great in the movie. So I've learned in life with artistic mediums to curb my enthusiasm for my enjoyment. Leslie says, Phil, I feel the exact same. Hate to have that damn letdown afterwards. Then I'm pissed at myself for hyping the thoughts. Sam says, I'm the same way too. Al, Red Sox fan, you were fucking great. Nick says, I feel you. You were a No Man's Sky fan too. No, not that one in particular. But yes, I did. I had friends that were. It's not my kind of game to play, but in so many video games, I've been that guy. I'll tell you exactly. I'm embarrassed to say, but video game fans will understand what I'm talking about. People that don't know much about video games will be like, I don't give a fuck. But the biggest one that I ever did that for is one of the worst games of all time considered. It's Superman 64. I just got my Nintendo 64. I had played Ocarina of Time all the way through, and I was loving 3D environment games for the first time. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. And then they announced a Superman game was coming out, and I wasn't a huge Superman fan, but the concept of being in a world like Ocarina of Time, but having superpowers to be able to fly around anywhere and fight enemies as Superman just seemed really cool to me. And I started to hype up the game to my friends. I'm like, I pre-ordered this shit. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be so cool, dude. It's going to be the fucking funniest game. It's going to be the best game ever. And we're all going to hang out and play. It's going to be better. It's going to be like amazing. Another game like this I did this was Castlevania 64, which had almost a similar reaction to this. But it's funnier with Superman 64 because of how notoriously bad it is for the people that know anything about the game. So in the background, future me is going like this. Guys, Superman 64 is going to be totally awesome. Like, can you imagine? You're fighting against like Doomsday with like you're fighting Ganon in a 3D environment. It could be one of the best games on the Nintendo 64. Yeah, totally. And suddenly, the friends call, hey, dude, you get the game? Can I come over and check it out? Hey, Phil, can I come over? No, dude, sorry. I didn't get it. The store fucked my pre-order up. Sorry. I can run to the store, return this. It's fucking awful. Watching it back, the first Flintstones movie isn't bad, but as a kid, being a stone teenager, overhyping the Stones at the Stones, it ended up being a disappointment. I agree that watching back many years later, I'm like, oh, it's a good little movie. But that's my point. That if I'd gone into it like, oh, whatever, let's just go see a movie tonight, and we checked out and we got stoned and watched the Flintstones, it would have been fun. We would have left going, dude, we got stoned at the Stones. It was fucking great, dude. But instead, I hyped it up inside my mind that it was going to be the greatest thing ever. And because of that, when I was in the situation, it could never live up to the way I built it up as a big fucking crazy thing. As you guys that watch us say, when I like something, I'm like, ah! And I used to prepubescently jump on things before I watched them or before I got into them or before I knew it was good and I loved it. And I try to sell people on it and shit too. And then you go and see it. And again, for some people, at least me anyways, and I sort of reflect out how I feel. I remember leaving that movie, a couple of my friends were like, oh, it wasn't bad. And I'm like, yeah, it was okay. And that was because in my head, I built up that it's going to be the greatest thing. Like, it's going to be the greatest thing of all time. All time. So yeah, that's me. So anyways, Mike says, hey kids, you like flying through rings and time limits? Exactly. And thank you for saying that, Mike, because for anyone that doesn't know anything when I'm talking about Superman 64, the game itself ended up being an awkward flying Superman flying through rings during time limits. Like literally, Not literally. There's a couple of other moments in the scene where you try to do action, but 85% of that game is flying through rings in an awkward flying motion that makes you sick with playing the controls that way. So it was a fucking disaster. I'm fucking glad to be able to help you. Excuse me, as snow days make me burp. I'm so happy to be able to keep you a little bit of company on a snow day. That's why I can't believe it's not even noon. This is why podcasting in the morning is a weird sort of thing. I was up at 8:30. I'm like, should I podcast at 8:30? I'm ready. Let's do this thing. No. Oh, first of all, I'd have an even deeper radio voice in that point. Oh, it sucked. It sucked shit. Did you ever happen to overhype yourself for a Game of Thrones episode? Maybe a little bit with the Game of Thrones spoiler coming for season 4 of Game of Thrones. Maybe a little bit for the Tywin Tyrion scene, which I think is an amazing scene. Or with the Tyrion escaping prison scene or getting busted out of prison scene. I kept waiting for it to go down. And I think with Game of Thrones, it's a little bit more to do with getting trapped into that mindset of seeing things the way that it's in the books and like wanting it to be exactly the way it is on television. The Walking Dead follows the same problem. Comic books follow the same problem. It's anything when you adapt source material. The Godfather faced this same problem with some people. There's someone out there that's a Godfather book purist that's like, I really missed that the whole side story about a large vagina and Sonny's large cock. I really missed that whole side story in The Godfather. Or with The Lord of the Rings, or people or the books never live up to it. I've had a couple moments on Game of Thrones where I've hyped something up in my own mind to see something done the way it was done in the books and it not necessarily go the way I wanted it to, and been like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have even thought about that. I shouldn't that's my own baggage. That's not the show's fault. You know, that's my fucking problem. But that happens to almost anything that's adapted anything. Someone's going to read it again and say, you know, I missed 36 pages of labia dissection. That's what I missed in the Mario Puzo novel of Godfather. That's what I missed. I missed the story that the movie really fucked up cutting that part out. They cut the heart of the movie out. They cut the heart of the movie out. I love you, Jimmy. Phil, you're just making the point why people should never read books. I guess I don't think people should never read books, but I do think there's a mindset with some, and I'm not talking about anyone specific, and I'm not talking about Game of Thrones people specific or anything like that, but there is a mindset of some, and some people will take me to task of this, that the only way to be intelligent is be book smart, or be someone that reads books or ascertains information that way. The people that listen to it or watch it or whatever aren't as mentally zooty as something, or you're not understanding it. I think every medium has its strengths and weaknesses, and everyone learns in different fucking ways. Not everyone learns best by reading. Some people learn best by listening. Some people learn best by doing shit. Some people learn best by watching shit. So it's hard because you set me off on a different rant. This has nothing to do with Westworld or Game of Thrones or anything specific. It's more of a generalized statement that I think sometimes it gets wrapped up in intelligence equals someone that's book knowledge, a book knowledge person. That's way more eloquent than me. No, but it's just a different kind of intelligence. And I think dumbasses are dumbasses, whether they're book smart dumbasses or they're street smart dumbasses. You know a dumbass when you meet a dumbass. Dumbass, right? Everyone knows dumbass. I'm outside the knowledge base. I'm an idiot. I accept it. But an intelligent person has nothing to do with whether they read or not. Jay says, Phil, they have a word for those people. They're called snobs. Nick learns best by kicking cats. Who are we to judge Nick for how he fucking ascertains information? He kicks a fucking cat. He kicks a pussy. Cats are assholes. I love my cats, but cats are fucking assholes. If you learn that way, you learn that way. Sam completely agrees. Smart for different points. Felicia says, sometimes bad movies and shows can turn people off reading book material. Example, I'm reading the Aragon books and they're amazing, but the movie was fucking awful. Phil educating some motherfuckers gathering around the issue circle. I like to read. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't want to use this as an excuse to like bash anyone that reads. That and make it very clear. If you're someone that learns best from reading or enjoys reading, I am fucking jealous of you. But I don't think you do this, Ab. And I'm not pointing my fucking fingers. Seriously. In my mind right now, the only person I'm thinking of is this snotty fucking douche I went to high school with that I'm thinking about. That you're an idiot because, you know, you do this and then. Just this fucking dude, okay? I'm not thinking about anybody specifically that I'm talking about this. I just mean... And that goes the same for me. If I'm saying, well, you're a fucking douchebag because you read, I'd be the same kind of fucking asshole. You know, I'd be the same kind of ignorant piece of shit. Everyone fucking learns. The secret is to not be an ignorant piece of shit. It doesn't matter how you get there. You know, at least for me anyways. If I want to be your friend, and not who gives a shit about being my friend, but like that's what I'm talking about right now. If I want to have respect for you as a person, it's you're not a complete ignorant piece of shit asshole. And I don't care how someone gets to that point, as long as they get to the point of not being like an ignorant piece of shit asshole. And that's it. That's it. I'm not saying much. If you need to kick cats, if you need to fucking read books or fucking do jumping jacks or like sports or like anything, whatever the fuck you like or into that can increase your personality to the point where you can have awesome conversations, not always about yourself, and like enjoy other people's company and send out not necessarily good vibes, just something like have a pulse and not be a complete douchebag like me. Like, I just want people not to be me. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. I'm getting off majorly off topic here. But my point is, don't be a complete douchebag. No, whatever you're into. Like whatever. If you're into fucking hog racing and shit. Like some people are into hog racing and shit. They liquefy their duty so they can wrestle hogs and shit. If you want to do that, don't be a douchebag to me. You could be a very intelligent hog wrestling douche. I mean, non-douche. Somewhere someone's going like, boo. Shut up, asshole. Nick says, every time I kick a cat, I learn how far a cat can be kicked. That's good information to be learned. Eventually, if he does that for 500 hours, he'll become a cat kicking expert. And ladies and gentlemen, this podcast has been brought to you by cat kicking. It's a tough thing to say, but it's a fun thing to do. And if you work 500 hours kicking cats, you too will become a master cat kicker. Kick that pussy as far as it can. You may end up a professional football or American football NFL player as a punter. It's good to know. This longs into those daily issues podcasts that really happens. This is an issues program. I should have just titled this an issues program, essentially, when I do these sort of wide open things. I named it after the particular review that I was going to do, but I think I'm going to actually rename it afterwards. Just random fucking podcast number 4 or some shit like that. But yeah, this ended up being more of a ranty podcast. But I do want to watch the Westworld trailer one more time. Then I know Jay left another message I want to play at the end and maybe rant a little bit more, but it's getting near that time. Just don't flush it down the toilet. So let me play this trailer one more time and talk over it because I want to watch it one more time. Oh yeah. Touch it. Touch this trailer one more time. Me? Did I just talk to myself like that? You did, you stupid fuck. See, you're being a douchebag. Stop being a douchebag.
Look at this world.
So they're reminding you that the landscapes and the visuals are fucking amazing.
This beautiful world.
I think that I think that the person we see at the beginning here, is that one of the people of like Ford's army that he created or something like that? Wasn't there something that gets said at the end of season 1? Again, I have to rewatch season 1. I'm so blanking on it. But something about, isn't Dolores going to have sort of her fucking hit crew too that's going to go around fucking destroying people? It's fucking amazing. I love the setting up the magical mystery nature of the land of Westworld again here at the beginning, similar to season 1, but with a different sort of twitch. Obviously a different, I wasn't going to say sadistic, but a dark, evil, all humans are, the humans are dead. Yes, they are dead. The humans are dead. Yeah, sort of thing going on here. And I love Evan, Rachel. Oh wow, sorry, I'm trying to type something as I write, as I talk. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. But I love how they set up the whole Westworld situation here, that emotional feeling of putting you back in this world, talking about the world that was created, and then the way they transition this into showing the humans and showing what's happening in that situation is just incredibly cool. And yeah, let's do it. I keep forgetting that I need to do this over here so you guys don't see what I'm searching for. I wonder if this voiceover is something that we actually get on the show at some point in one of Dolores's voiceovers, or we ultimately, this is something that was specifically done just for the trailer.
But this world is a lie.
Ooh, this just looks really bad. And I don't mean really bad as in it doesn't look good. It just looks really bad for the humans here, at least for the first part of the season. I wonder where things go after the first section, which I do think we're going to get a couple of episodes of like bloodbath and cleansing the park of most of the humans, except for the few that are able to hide out or something, or be saved by hosts or something. I don't know. The awakening, maybe traveling to different worlds, but let's see.
But this world is a lie.
So I think it's Dolores probably in a voiceover as we see the fucking bull charging through the fucking the command center, getting ready to destroy all these soldiers.
This world
This seems to be our woke group.
deserves to die.
And was that on the table? Did we see, was that Abernathy again? Is that Abernathy? Is that Dolores' dad? Anyone let me know in the comment section or the chat. I think it's Dolores' daddy. Bernard in there looking very fucking curious and scared. Look like he wants to say what door.
Deserves to die.
Whoa, what's this shit? Who the fuck is marching him out?
Because this is
Fucking Maeve looking like Weather Witch right there. Can we cast Maeve as Storm or something? Look at her.
we can save this world.
Looking very Storm-like right there to me. Like coming the fucking wind of death coming with her. Maeve is the one I'm almost the most curious about her storyline, because Dolores, I don't know. This is a bigger issue to debate once we start to get into the season, whether Dolores is really awoken from this or if this is part of just Ford's whole thing or if everything is just part of Ford's programming. Even this moment that's happening right now is his last message to everyone is a big fuck you. It's one of the interesting things to explore in Westworld where there's a lot of things to explore. But Maeve, I'm very curious how and when her and Dolores' stories really do intersect.
We can burn it to the ground.
Is it the guy from the Hunger Game movies? The other Thor brother there, the other fucking Hemsworth, Charlie Hemsworth. What's his name? Is his name really Charlie Hemsworth? I don't know what the third brother Hemsworth, the Billy Baldwin or the Stephen Baldwin of the Hemsworths. Maeve's a fucking troll.
From the ashes, build anew the ground.
I want this GIF on my bedroom ceiling.
From the ashes, build a new world.
I really like that moment for some reason. The smile.
Build a new world.
Between the two of them. It's a very interesting moment that might be telling of their relationship through the season, or I don't know. This is what I was talking about before. It's how long this relationship lasts. At least we know from this moment that they'll probably at least be associates for a while anyways, at least when the season begins. Oh, fuck. Ass balls. Is the snow Maeve outside?
Our world.
Hey, don't talk to me like that. Oh, what the fuck's this? More? Don't do it to me. Oh, this is the first trailer. They just played back-to-back trailers. Okay. So that is the trailer of Westworld. I mean, I could talk more about it, but it does look fucking awesome. Looks very exciting, and it's coming very soon too. April 22nd is not much further to wait, and I can't wait. This is probably my most anticipated show for 2018. And it's probably the one that I'm the closest to doing that thing I don't want to do, which is why I haven't tried to stay away from it as much as possible, because from a television entertainment standpoint, this is a big one for me, or it's a big one for me. It's I really enjoyed season 1, and this is a big deciding factor of whether this is going to be a one and done kind of show or if this show could be good for a few seasons to come. I think if they can manage to create an awesome season out of season 2, it doesn't have to give you the same kind of feels as season 2. It can be a different kind of awesome. It can be bloodthirsty, crazy, over the top awesome. It can be less cerebral and more visually cool. It can be a different kind of awesome. I just need to know if it can still give me a different kind of feel. I've talked about this with the first trailer too. What I really want out of Westworld, which is why I want to stop unpacking it too much. What I really want out of it is for myself to be shocked, is to be shocked again, is to get the same level of a surprise and investment in it, and to have it, as I was mentioning at the beginning, to creep up on me. I want to go in there with expectations like I have. Oh, I saw Westworld season 1. I know, I get what I'm getting in for here. This is what I want, it's going to be what I want it to be, a little bit like that. And then I want to have it be something completely different and be at first feel a little weird to me. Like, yeah. But then eventually love it. Do you know what I want it to be? I want it to be like The fucking Wire. Okay? Everyone wants, is this the next game? I want it to be the next fucking Wire. And what I mean by that is each season of The Wire, And I know people would argue the last season isn't as strong, but I don't want to get into The Wire right now, specifically about the show. What I mean is every season of The Wire, especially after season 1, you get this like really cool season. If you like it, you don't like it, whatever. Go with me here. Then in season 2, they completely shift. No Wire spoilers here. They completely shift things. And season 2 starts off in a completely different place. And you're eventually reintroduced to the characters that you know. And I don't want to see them do the same exact thing, like introduce new characters. I just mean a new thing. And the way you feel about it at first, anyways, and season 2 is still, it's polarizing for some people of The Wire, but this is how I felt about it. And I want this feeling. Ugh, I don't care about this shit. Get these Sabaka, brother. Fuck this shit. What do I care about this? Whoa. Okay. Yeah. And then fucking be completely blown away by it and be into it, completely commit to it as much as I was season 1 in a different way. The Wire almost managed to do that every season, where it changed things up in a big way and still made it as awesome every year. And I don't want them to necessarily completely change things up, but I know they're introducing new characters like Floki from Vikings is going to be on the show, and there's a couple of other actors. Isn't Jenna Elfman added to the show or something too? Like some other actors are coming in, so we're going to be introduced to some new characters. And I just wouldn't mind if it's something completely different that I'm not expecting, that no one's expecting, and just as awesome in different fucking ways. That's what I want out of Westworld. Are you more excited for Winds of Winter or the last season of... And my most anticipated shows for 2018 is Better Call Saul season 4, but it's not scheduled until September. That's fucking great, dude. Deontay Washington, the topic started out talking about a television show called Millennials, which is a comedy series on Amazon, 6 episodes. I found it funny. It's uneven, but a good series. And I talked about it. Shot very well. Not all the acting is awesome on it, but it is generally a very funny show. Also talked about the Jessica Jones season 2 trailer and just talked about the Westworld trailer and also a random rant in the middle here. So I'm finishing up the Westworld trailer talk right now and going to go to the phone lines and take some random comment questions about random anything you want to ask. And then I will call this a stream. So, bam. So to answer your question, am I more excited for Winds of Winter or the last season of Game of Thrones? Well, I am a television person by nature. So mostly I would say the last season of Game of Thrones. But in this case, I think just because it's been so long for a book, I'm probably most excited for Winds of Winter. And that being said, I cannot wait for the fucking final season of Game of Thrones. And I think it's going to be fucking awesome and it's going to be great. And I'm super excited for it. It's just that it seems so far off. And I know people are saying, what? Winds of Winter still hasn't come out. I think Winds of Winter is going to come out this year. I hope. But it's just been a long time to get that particular conclusion. And I want to hear his story up until this point. You know, and then it's coming to see the events of the Song of Spring, which is what we're going to see in the last season of Game of Thrones. So I kind of want that other half of Winds of Winter, you know, the George half of this section of Game of Thrones at this point. So I'm most excited for the Winds of Winter audiobooks. And then and Game of Thrones is very close though. I mean, if you ask me on Tuesday, it could be a different answer. I'm just like, I'm hungry for more of that right now. So there we go. Did I talk Deadpool and Venom yet? I did not talk Deadpool and Venom, and I have not watched their trailers yet. I mean, I could put their trailers on right now. I did watch the Venom trailer. And I don't want to talk about the Venom trailer yet. Or I want to talk about this about the Venom trailer. A lot of people are like, you didn't get to see the Venom suit. Me. Do you think the Venom suit's going to be in the movie? Why do we have to see everything in the fucking trailer first? You know, I want that to be a reveal for the movie. Hold off that fucking Venom suit as long as you possibly can for me. That's at least how I feel. I don't want to see that reveal till I don't mind it being so focused on just Tom Hardy. And I've heard some complaints like it could be a movie about anything. And okay, fine, it could be. I don't care about that. I just want to know that Tom Hardy's in it and he's a fucking awesome actor. And I like pretty much almost all of his roles, as especially love of a role that he did with James Gandolfini, where he plays sort of like a Rocky-like character. I just think he's been in some bad stuff too, or not had the best stuff. But I think when he's good, he's really good. And I think he could fit really well in that character. A lot of people are saying, how can you do Venom without doing Spider-Man and the Spider-Man symbiote story? You could very easily do that. It's just, Indiana Jones 1 was supposed to be, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom was supposed to be a prequel to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Not the Last Crusade. Raiders of the Lost Ark, but Raiders of the Lost Ark came first. Spider-Man probably has a different arc that they're going for. It doesn't mean that the Spider-Man story can't be a part of the Venom movie. They could do everything with the symbiote and Spider-Man thing in the opening credit crawl. I don't think to do Venom properly, you need to show him with Spider-Man. Exactly. I think you need to make witness of those events, but those events don't need to happen on screen before a Venom movie needs to happen. I don't know if that makes sense. I do think you need to see that eventually. If Venom movie is a success, eventually you would like to see Venom come over and be in a Spider-Man movie. I hope they don't make him total Venom hero like the Venom comic books, because I wasn't a big fan of that. I like Venom better as a villain or as a anti-hero like that hates Spider-Man. He needs to hate Spider-Man. That's the only weird, nerdy thing I'll get into. He needs to hate Spider-Man, and it needs to be a part of it. But I don't think to do the movie justice, for it to be a good movie, you need to do those events of Spider-Man first. I think it's been done, and most of the people that are going to go see a fucking Venom movie know about all that shit that happens. And you can do it just in a quick little flash. What I hope they don't do, and the only thing that would piss me off a little bit, is if they skip anything to do with Spider-Man altogether, and they just make the symbiote go on to Eddie Brock first without having taken the Spider-Man powers. That would make no sense whatsoever. It needs to somehow, whether it's in the opening crawl, they do something like they did in The Incredible Hulk, where they just show the events happen because we've seen it before, or the way they did it in Batman versus Superman, where they just kind of just show it right quickly at the beginning or something. Or maybe Tom Holland can make a guest appearance and be a bigger part of the movie. I don't know if he is. I haven't been spoiled to that. I don't know if he is actually a big part of this movie. Maybe he's as much of like Tony Stark was in the Spider-Man Homecoming. I really don't know. I tend to think that Spider-Man, if he's in it, will probably just be in a cameo. And this will happen. I honestly don't know what to expect. And as someone that really loves the character of Venom, at least as a villain to Spider-Man in the cartoons and in the early comics and his early introductions, I really like the symbiote Spider-Man story arc. I think that's one of my favorite comic book Spider-Man story arcs. So I am also biased to wanting to see that eventually in a good Spider-Man movie, because if all we have in life for a live-action Spider-Man version of the symbiote story is Spider-Man 3, it's a sad world for a Spider-Man fan, especially with this oversaturation of superhero movies. You think we could get a fucking Marvel-made symbiote story. But I think if Venom is a success, you're more likely to see that. I think maybe any studio that makes Spider-Man is apprehensive about doing that because of the failures of Spider-Man 3, but I think that was more because of Sam Raimi's hatred of the character of Venom and not wanting to put him in anything, and the studio's insistence of doing it because of the popularity of the character at the time. So I think it was a perfect storm of shit with Spider-Man 3. If you look more into the creation of it and everything that happened with that, Venom should never have been in that movie. I'm not saying it would have been a great movie without Venom, but it would have felt a little less clusterfucked, and maybe you wouldn't have gotten the emo Spider-Man scene when he's in the Venom costume as a fuck you from Sam Raimi to Venom fans. Or the symbiote storyline fans, which is just like, I didn't want to do this storyline. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have fucking Spider-Man fucking go all emo and dance to fucking awkwardly in a fucking horrible scene because he has the black Spider-Man suit on. Like, fuck that. Fuck you, motherfucker. You could do a show without being in the room for 3 hours and just have everyone stare at an empty room, but that doesn't make it a good idea. And it's true. It is true. Just because I could do something doesn't make it good. So let's listen to Jay's other message. It might be about something in the past, but let's listen to it.
Hey, what's your prediction for what Black Panther is going to do opening weekend? I predict $220 million on opening weekend, and it'll gross over $1 billion overall worldwide. All right, later.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think it's gonna be the highest grossing superhero movie of the year. It's getting a lot of really positive stuff, and a lot of people have been really amped and excited for this particular storyline, and I'm excited to see it too. It's definitely tops the most. I think you're probably right. It's hard for me to gauge. Let me think about that from money wise. Now, what was a recent movie that just came out that did really well at the box office? Let's see. Recent releases. Let me speculate this. Recently movie releases. Let me see. Recent movie releases. We got Peter Rabbit, Black Panther, Maze Runner, Den of Thieves, all this sort of shit. So 220 million, I think is fair to say. How much did Star Wars: The Last Jedi make an opening weekend? Does anybody know that number offhand? Just for blockbuster references. I don't want to talk about The Last Jedi here. Last Jedi opening weekend numbers. It did 208 million at the box office, 208 to 214. So I think your speculation is just about right. I think this will do a little bit better. I think this will do about I think you're almost just on the number. I would say 220, 225 would be what I would say from the speculation of seeing what Last Jedi was open to 208. So I think this is getting a lot more positive fanfare. And I know that's a Star Wars movie, but the oversaturation of Star Wars movies is hurting ticket sales a little bit from the hype factor, if you think about it, from that and how quickly the negative responses that some people had to that movie sort of percolated out there. I think the positive feedback you're getting and all of that, I think you're going to see a huge fucking weekend for this movie. So good fucking question. I also think the casting of Eric Foreman, your message, wait. I also think the casting of Eric Foreman would have made a good Vulture, which is Sam Raimi wanted a villain. I left a message before that one too. I definitely agree with, I don't think Eric Foreman, Topher Grace was the best casting. I think he would have made a better, I think Vulture's pretty cool. I could see him as Vulture. I could see him more in a weird, like a television version of Peter Parker. I think he comes off to me more at his best character that actor plays. He could better pull off Peter Parker than any character like that. But even, I just don't think he was right for a superhero kind of movie. I just think it was bad casting in general. It's hard for me to imagine him in Vulture, especially with having Michael Keaton in my mind, who maybe wasn't for everybody, but I really like Michael Keaton's performance. I was thinking maybe Mysterio in my mind. It popped in there really quick, sort of over the top, something more over the top or something like that. But yeah, I always thought I made this up in my mind. I always thought that he wanted to be Spider-Man, and they were like, yeah, we can't really cast you Spider-Man, but we'll keep your name. And then they're like, we need someone as Eddie Brock. Plus, I think they did the ultimate version of Eddie Brock, which is Eddie Brock's son. It's supposed to be a skinnier version, where Eddie Brock, the real Eddie Brock, should be like a more built guy. And I think that was a shitty part of it too. I think for the effects at the time, the Venom on screen didn't look horrible. I don't think that was a weakness of it, but too much of like the mask opening up and Eric Foreman's face coming out. I just wanted to be like Donna Pinciotti and like punch him in the fucking face when he did that. But yeah, I think it was too much of that. Too much of that crap. Bam. Do you want a Howard the Duck movie? A Howard the Duck remake? We already have a Howard the Duck movie with Leah Thompson and fucking Tim Robbins and Edward R. Rooney, Dean of Students. And it's fucking amazing. I might be one of the few people in the world that actually really likes the original Howard the Duck movie. I know it's regarded by some as like one of the worst movies of all time, but I have a big soft spot in my heart for the original Howard the Duck movie. So do I want them to remake Howard the Duck with no honky-tonk feeling, as long as they use the theme song? I wouldn't mind seeing a Howard the Duck cameo in a Guardians movie. That's as far as I'd go. I don't think I want to see a whole Howard the Duck movie, but a Howard the Duck cameo in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I think could work if you did it right. They made a sequel to Howard the Duck? I did not see that. Ducky? Is it with him and Leah Thompson just having sex? Here we go. Here's Jay one more time.
Just to let you know, if you watch the channel, if you subscribe to the channel, go to the channel, Comic Book Cast or whatever.
Oh, I've actually heard that.
They do comic book news and stuff, and they confirm that Kilgrave, like they confirm from some thing they read, like news article or something, that Kilgrave would be back in season 2 and be the main villain. So I don't know. I have a feeling that the trailers are from the first episode. That the trailer is largely taken from the first episode. All right, later.
Good stuff, Jay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that fact check, motherfucker. You the man, motherfucker. So let's see. Too upset over talk about the awesome Discovery episode. The awesome D&D are going to be involved in Star Wars. Oh yeah. I wasn't too. Someone just sent me a text message. Thank you for the text. I'm as much as people are gonna hate to hear me say this because they want to trash on, everyone the Patriots lost, and I know Felicia's gonna run out of here quickly when they say this. Being in Boston, I can be fair weathery to the Patriots sometimes, but ultimately I'll say it over and over again on this channel. Oh shit! I just hit my computer with it. Hopefully I didn't break anything, but I am a sports fan and I am a Boston fan when it comes to the Celtics. But when it comes to football, Raiders, baby. I'm all about the Raiders because when I was a kid, it's the stupidest reason why I'm a Raider fan, but I'm a Raider fan because of Tecmo Bowl. Because when I was young, the Patriots sucked. And when I was really young, the Patriots drafted this dude called Doug Flutie. Some people will know who Doug Flutie is. Some people don't know. Doug Flutie. And they didn't play him. And I was so pissed off. They drafted him and didn't play him. And then he left. Then he left and joined the Canadian League and shit. And became a superstar. And then he came back and played for Buffalo. And I was like, fuck you, Patriots, at the time. And they had this guy, Steve Grogan, that just sucked donkey balls. They made it to the Super Bowl one year, and they got their asses kicked to the Bears. It was like an embarrassment. And it was like that moment, I'm like, I don't like these guys. They fuck this team. But then around that time, I also started to play Tecmo Bowl. And I think around that time, I started to be just more into the Celtics because the Celtics were fucking, awesome when I was young. And I played Tecmo Bowl a lot. And I gravitated to the fucking Raiders because of Bo Jackson. And Bo Jackson is fucking sick. And then as a kid, I started to get into Bo Jackson as an athlete. Everyone had their athletes that they were into or whatever. And I was into Bo Jackson. He was one of the pro stars on the cartoon, The Pro Stars, with Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan. And I was like, Bo Jackson, I love Bo Jackson. And I just became a Raider fan. And he was just like a sick fucking, he played both sports. He played baseball and football, if anyone doesn't know who Bo Jackson is. And he ended up getting hurt in football, so he retired earlier. But in football, he was a fucking crazy motherfucker. He for people that care anything, and people like sports, click. But Bo Jackson was huge. He was so fucking had so much fucking strength, and he was so fucking fast. He would just run fuckers down. He was a fun guy to be a fan of while he was a player, and especially a fun fan to be of the Raiders. And that made me a fucking Raider fan. So ultimately, I never give too much shit about the Patriots. So some part of me was giggling along with non-Boston people. I know so many people from Boston right now. Felicia's like, I am going to fucking kill you right now, Phil. I'm going to find you in your little fucking safe space and crush your fucking Raider fucking. She's going to take this. I'm going to wake up one night with this helmet being smashed on my head by Felicia. But yes, I growing up in Boston, I'm not, if I'm playing the little kid game, the Patriots are my second favorite team. I like the Patriots. I've enjoyed this run as being a football fan. And I know people, what the fuck are you talking about? But I've enjoyed this run. Brady is. You can be like, yeah, he's a cheater. I still love watching fucking Tom Brady play. And the only reason why I jump into the whole cheaty thing is because I'm a Raider fan and it's all started with that tuck rule. Let's not forget this. So it's almost any time it happens to anybody else, I'm just like, ha ha. That was the biggest one. I don't care what any of you guys say. I don't give a shit about footballs. Who gives a fuck about footballs? All teams tape practices. I don't give a fuck about that either. They just got caught. Yeah, it's the tuck rule in the Snow Bowl game where the Raiders had them fucking down. Down. And all this bullshit wouldn't have happened. I'm kidding. I'm just being an asshole. But so if people are asking about that, and I did not talk about the last episode of Discovery. I was having some technical problems with my mixing board, but I changed out the fuse I needed to change out. So I am going to be talking about the episode of Discovery, the season finale, and I will make mention of the mid-season or the penultimate episode of the season as well. This week will be a little hit and miss, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show. My best friend's father and someone I was very close to and kind of a member of my family in an indirect way passed away. So I have to deal with all of those matters and all of that such this week, but I will try to get in here a little bit at least Sunday night, of course, for Discovery at 10:30. But the rest of the week, as I said, maybe a little bit missy here and there, but I'll try to get on if I can for some fun and stuff. So thank you so much, everybody. And for shame, Phil. It's called Howard the Duck 2, Return to Duck World. I gotta fucking see this. I gotta see this shit. Who got timed out? Felicia, if you got timed out, I'm sorry. It's YouTube doing it, not me. Someone... Excuse me. Definitely time out. YouTube robots. Time out, Felicia. TB12 will be tearing it up in 2018 season. Just you wait and see. Bunch of positive fans. I have Raider fan friend says he says the same exact thing. Yeah, it's not it again. I've enjoyed watching this. It's really fun. Like I said, I'm a fair weather Patriots fan. I jump on that Patriots bus, in the playoffs. I'm like, okay, the Raiders have been so bad since then. They had one trip to the Super Bowl after that against their old ex-head coach and got their asses kicked. And they've been the last couple of years have been entertaining, but they're still sort of not quite there as a team. So it completely fit in for me to be turned into a fair weather Patriots fan. But I am a Boston sports fan when it comes to the Celtics. I am a huge Boston Celtics fan, and I have been since I was a kid. It's probably if I'm a fan of one sports team over all sports teams, it's probably the Celtics. So Bill Russell is my favorite player of all time. 11 championships in 13 years. Like, okay, I can be as much of a geek about sports as I can about comic books and as much as I can about TVs and movies and shit like that. I consider it all part of like my fandom for shit. It's all the same. I often don't get that some people are like, I can only be in one, you have to pick sides or some shit like that. I'd be like one of those dudes that we like wander over to like the comic book kids table and like talk about fucking the issues of Spider-Man and then walk over to the jock table and be like, dude, you see fucking I'm a little bit of a chameleon to my surroundings sometimes. Maybe if I see it soon enough, broke. Casey lost Alex Smith, helps the Raiders cause. Chucky coming back in definitely makes the Raiders more entertaining, and I also love the move to Las Vegas. I think I'm loving the fact that there's going to be a team in Las Vegas, and I'm loving that it's going to be the Raiders. No better team could be coming to Vegas. I can't wait to go to a Vegas smoke shop, grab a fucking blunt, go to a Raider game, and smoke a blunt and watch the Raiders one day. That's just awesome, okay? Raider fucking football, dude. I love how we're getting the fucking football talk in there. Joe's often told me he wants me to do a sports show. Joe's like, Phil, for 2 years now, or actually no, how many years we've been in this? We're coming on our 4th year or something like that. Joe would be like, dude, you got to do a fucking sports show, man. I want you to do it. Sports talk radio. I was going to say 850 or something. I was going to try to figure out issues dial sort of joke here. The dial of the issues. We'll take your calls. Line 4 from Detroit. Hey, dude, I want to know what kind of coach Matt Patrician's going to be. I think he's going to be a good coach, dude. with a band like that. How can you not be? I think the Raiders are going there in a couple of years, maybe. Am I making that up? Someone correct me if I'm making that up. But yeah, I believe they're going. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. Let me try. When are the Raiders moving to Las Vegas? I want to say it's like 2021 or some shit like that. The Oakland Raiders. Are the Raiders moving to Vegas? The Raiders officially filed paperwork to relocate from Oakland to California to Las Vegas, Nevada on January 19th, 2017. The Raiders need 24 of the 32. Actually, it's not official yet, I guess. Need 24 of the 32 NFL club owners to vote for the official approve to move to Las Vegas. The Raiders would increase their contribution from $500 million to $1.5 billion. So I don't know when this is. I'm not sure when this article was from. I thought I heard it was a done deal, but I could be wrong here. I thought I heard it was like in 2020 or 2021. It's official. Yeah, it's official. They need the right kind of vote, the right amount of votes. And I'm not sure if that's happened, but I don't think there's any real opposition. I'm pretty sure that the NFL, with their close association to the Vegas betting line, definitely have no problems with having a team in Oakland. I mean, team in Las Vegas. I'm in fact surprised it hasn't happened sooner. That there isn't a sports team, or there's a hockey team there now, right? I must admit, I know the least about hockey if it's coming down to any sport that I'm going to discuss. So I'm pretty sure there's especially with all the hockey relocation and expansion teams and stuff. Like, ask me about like the original teams, I could probably name a bunch of them, or talk about hockey in the 80s. I could talk a little bit more about that, about the Gretzky, Mark Messier, New York teams and shit like that. But I couldn't talk too much about modern day NHL and but I think there is it happens. They got thank you SM. It happens. They got the votes. So I think Felicia's right. I think it happens in 2020. I think this coming season will be the last season in Oakland. Yeah, because they did ask Gruden about it. I think they asked Gruden how's it's going to feel to be in Vegas in 2020 or something. I'm trying to remember back to the John Gruden press conference that yes I watched. Yes, I watched it. I'm a Raider geek. The stadium will be probably attached to the casino. I can't wait to stay at that casino. I'm not sure where in Vegas the stadium's going to be, but I think it's down by the Luxor. I could be making that up. I know the basketball stadium's down there where they have some games sometimes, or college games, I believe, or when they have some fights down there as well. So yeah, it's another excuse to go to Vegas to watch the Raiders there. It's going to be really funny. Yep. Thank you, Iron Throne. I saw that it's from earlier as I'm looking on the live on the fucking chat on the screen. Sports Issues 420 AM. Welcome back to Sports Issues 420 AM. Time for your sports talk. You have a sports conversation you want to ask? Ask me away. I have any of your sports answers right here, right now. Are you still going to watch The Walking Dead, or are you giving up on the Grimes family altogether? Still watching The Walking Dead. I will be here alone on opening night of The Walking Dead on February 25th to talk about the recap right afterwards. I'm at least doing recaps for The Walking Dead, at least till the season, till next season, part 1. If I'm not loving The Walking Dead by not loving it, but at least feeling like it's getting better and it's not just the same old recap of us being bashed on The Walking Dead. If I feel like the show, in my mind and my feeling, isn't heading in a better direction with the new showrunner beginning of next season, I'm not saying we're not going to talk about The Walking Dead, but I don't think it's the best use of Sunday nights. So, and it will all depend on what other shows are going, but there'll at least be 2 more half-season recaps of The Walking Dead going on the channel. The second half of this season and the first half of the next season. If Joe and I are honestly still feeling like it's more of a slog, we're probably going to go to season reviews, where we'll talk about the whole season as a whole after it happens and do weekly Sunday night casts. Also, what we might end up doing is just turning our Sunday night casts, non-Game of Thrones weeks, into more general topics as well. I talked about this before, where on a Sunday night during the Walking Dead season, we may talk about The Walking Dead, but we also might talk about a couple of other shows we watched the previous week or something like that, just to fill it out. So we're not talking about The Walking Dead for 2 hours or something. So we're giving, both Joe and I agree, we want to give The Walking Dead 2 more half seasons, or, another half, Gimple's last half, to see how he concludes his last half as showrunner. And then the first year or the first block of the new showrunner to see how she takes the show and what direction, if she kind of takes it into a different kind of feel. And then, I mean, like I said, we'll never stop talking about it completely. We'll always discuss the seasons because I think we're definitely going to be watching them. I just think Sunday night at 9 p.m. for live television watching, there's too many. That's like a primetime option. There's other shows that are going to be airing at the same time as The Walking Dead that I'm going to be rather watching than that as time goes on. And I don't, if we're going to just feel the same about it, we can just talk about it like the whole season as a whole, or do videos later in the week or something, do it not necessarily as an exact episode recap. So we'll figure out how that goes after that. I'm not, that might not happen. The Walking Dead might get so fucking awesome and surprise us in these next 2 half of seasons. And we might be like, we can't not talk about it. Once they get rid of this Negan arc, the next arc might be fresh and cool. And fresh and cool. What am I in the 80s? It might be fresh and cool, dude. But it might end up being really interesting. So you never can tell. The Walking Dead is now a guilty pleasure of mine. Fuck The Walking Dead. Talk Riverdale or Gotham, motherfucker. There's lots of other shows. Westworld airs on Sunday nights as well. And there's a couple of other shows I'm just blanking on. Sunday night is a big HBO, airs whatever their big show at the moment is on 9 p.m. on Sundays. Curb Your Enthusiasm was 9 p.m. on Sundays this year. And I know it's not everyone's favorite season of Curb, but honestly, while it was happening with The Walking Dead, I would have rather do Curb reviews live. I'm not kidding. But there's so many shows that do air on Sunday nights. So thank you, Leslie. If there's some shows on Sunday nights, that's like the like Keeping Up the Kardashians and Sister Wives, both which give The Walking Dead a run for their money. Sam killing it in the live motherfucking chat. Walking Dead, so cute. So cute. And oh yes, hockey, this is the first season of the Vegas Knights. Thank you, Mod Skywalker, for that information. And thank you to everyone for checking out this live stream. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this shit, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Join us for more silly, goosey fun. As I mentioned, I will be back Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. to talk about the Discovery season, finale. Whew. My stomach's like, you don't want to go yet, Phil. The Discovery season finale and basically about the whole season of Discovery up until that point, hopes for season 2, all that sort of shit. Then, like I said, a little bit of a question mark when the next time I'll be on after that is. I might be on for like some random video game streaming with my friend who isn't the biggest talker, but we do play some, speaking of sports, we might like stream like some of our, like a game of Tech Mobile or something like that. But we'll have to see how that goes with him, how he's dealing with dealing with the death of his father and stuff like that. We got a lot of shit to deal with, but I also know he likes to get his mind off of things. Been trying to get him on this podcast to talk to us because he's the missing link of Joe and I's friendship. He called a couple of times for my old radio show. Like he called in from during a tornado on the live on the air once, but our friend Nick is sort of like the third connection to our best friends group. We're so cheesy, but the three of us have been best friends for a long time, and so it would be great to eventually get him somewhere on a podcast because he can talk. It's just when the camera's on and the microphone's in front of him, he's one of those guys that like you put a microphone in front of him and like in the living room he'll talk like a son of a bitch, but once you put the mic there, he goes. And he couldn't give two monkey shits about television and movies. Hates comic books, hates anything fantasy oriented. Like anything that has superhero powers or fantasy anything, or he automatically like won't watch it and hates it. What I want to get him on here for was a beer podcast, like how to get into craft beer drinking or how to be a douchebag or something. No, how to some sort of beer podcast of some sort. So maybe we can do that, but I doubt he'll be wanting to podcast, but we'll see. So the next time I'll be on here, to be announced, or Sunday, but after that, we will have to see. And everyone, somewhere, people are cheering, and everyone's like, boo, just quit. Quit your stupid show, you suck. And eventually, really soon, we got to get Joe back on here. Because Joe's not going to be with us for the season premiere of The Walking Dead. He'll be with us on week 2. I believe he's working on season premiere. Joe and I have been trying to get together to do a movie podcast coming up soon. So if anyone has not seen the movie The Big Lebowski, I think now's the time to watch it, because sometime in the next couple of weeks, Joe and I will be getting together to do a review of The Big Lebowski. It's about fucking time. So everyone, I want to say, you guys are the motherfuckers in the live motherfucking chat. Love you guys. We are the best friends. I love for you guys. You do a cast about the band Rush or Led Zeppelin. Zeppelin one's definitely coming. Rush one should be coming at some point too. Good question about the music podcast. I've so far only done the Pink Floyd one. I can say with certainty I will be doing a Led Zeppelin one, a Beatles one, possibly a Red Hot Chili Peppers one, maybe. But I would say the definite next two will be Zeppelin and the Beatles. Then I'll also be doing a Jane's Addiction one at some point too, and a couple of other ones around the band. Rush is a band I would definitely be interested in doing something. I just want to get the bands I know the most about without having to research it out of the way at the beginning, and I know I tend to know more about the Beatles and Zeppelin's story. So I think the next one I do will probably be Led Zeppelin, and I want to get a guest for that too. My cousin Alan, who some of you guys might remember from, if any of you guys have watched that, our greatest guitar players of all times list episode that we did. I want to try to get Alan over here to do the Zeppelin podcast with me, because I've been trying to come up with something for Alan I to do one-on-one, and he's probably the biggest Led Zeppelin fan I know. So expect that hopefully sometime in the next couple of months or something like that. But it was Alan and I have to coordinate on a schedule to do that. But let me touch base with Al, and can't wait to talk about some Peter Grant beating the shit out of people to get Zeppelin the best deals. It's going to be a fun discussion. So yeah, Zeppelin definitely coming, and I know the Beatles aren't everyone's cup of tea, but I can't wait to talk about the Beatles either. There's a lot of shit to talk about with that band. So those are the two next music history ones that will be coming at some point. There's no necessarily timetable on those. There's literally so many I want to do. I was just going to name like 15, but I don't even want to put them out there until I do it. So I will say the next two for sure are the Beatles and Zeppelin. Zeppelin first, then the Beatles. And I'm going to get my cousin Alan for that one. And maybe if Alan and I have fun, he can join me for more of those as well. Because he's definitely someone I've talked a lot of music history with. And he's got the gift to gab about it as well. So everybody, I will definitely have call-in numbers for that. I have basically everybody. I mentioned this before. We had it for the Nick Hodges podcast that I did, but the voice call-in line will be pretty much going for at least the next couple of months. I might shut it off a little bit during the summer when I am traveling a little bit, but pretty much I didn't have it set up for this afternoon, but I could have set it up pretty easily. But for those podcasts, I will definitely have a call-in number. We'll try to make it on an evening. I don't know if that's best for some people, but Uncle D, I definitely would love to have you be able to call into some of those shows, some of the music discussion shows, and I'll try to give people a little bit more warning about that. Like, come out on I might try to do this. I don't necessarily love these kind of things, and I can never come out for 2 seconds, but Jay makes a good point at the beginning of the podcast. I need to figure out a way to do some warnings for some podcasts like that. I want to experiment with, you can do posts now on YouTube with, like, instead of putting a video, I can actually put a post, and so I'll put something, going to be doing a music podcast tomorrow, next Friday night or something like that. Sometimes like today, this was sort of spur of the moment. I know I have a crazy weekend and I was like, I got to do this. And I usually like to announce it as well in the Discord group. If anyone is not a member of our Discord, you can check out the link in the description box below to get into the Discord group. There's a group in there called the Captain's Log. And when I know I'm going to do something, I will often, almost every time, and I'll try to do it even more. I post in there when I'm going to go live, and I'll also try to double post that on the YouTube stream post thing. So if you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you're following the channel as well. I know I never say this shit, and it's like, I guess you almost need to now. But if you're subscribed, also make sure you're following the channel, which you should be just subscribed, but whatever. So that they make sure they give you notifications. And then if you find you aren't getting notifications for a while, I never say this, but unnotify yourself and then notify yourself again, because it tends to, I've noticed this, that if I sign up for notifications for a lot of channels, then when I get them, I'll only get them for the newer channels that I've been notified for. And then I have to like re-notify myself for the older channels. And it's a weird sort of cycle that you have to almost stay engaged to get the notifications and shit. So it's real fucked up, and poo on you, Mr. Boo, for that's me talking to myself, for even mentioning that shit. But if you're curious, like, I know some people have said that to me. I've gotten a couple of messages like, I don't get notifications when you go live. I've gotten more recent messages about that recently. So, sign up for notifications and then unsign up for notifications, and hopefully it will put me to the front of your pile. Stick me to the top of the fucking stack of your shit that you get every week from loud, obnoxious people like myself. Plus, they just want to keep me down, motherfucker. Trying to keep the hippie down. I swear too much. They don't want my fucking shit out there. But everyone, again, I'm sorry for the long extended goodbye. I've been saying goodbye for 50 minutes, I think. Lots of love to everyone out there in the live motherfucking chat. As I said, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share the channel with a friend. Help us keep growing. Because of a lot of factors, the best way we can grow is with the help of other people, whether it's people like that have us on their channels or their podcasts. They tell us they're going to have us on. They have us on. It's fucking awesome. Really do appreciate that. It's so we get new people brought in here. I know we got a bunch of subs from Roar's channel that I was on this week, and thank you to anyone that came in here and is recent subs to us. Thank you. Hope you made it this far of the podcast. If you did, make sure you hit the like and jump the comment section and tell me to go fuck myself or something like that. I always love being told to go fuck myself. But really, it's about you guys, the FO fucking P's, and then the motherfucking chat. You guys, the people in the Discord that promote this shit, talk about it. Always out there. People like Broke, who's fucking amazing. People like Felicia. People like Sam. People like Ab. People like all of you motherfuckers. I only named a few of you because they're the only ones that count. No, all you fuckers count. But no, thank you for all the support you give the channel. Like, I'm not the best person selling myself, so I depend so much on all of you guys that do it. So I cannot say enough thanks to all of you fuckers for being just awesome fuckers. And thank you to all the fucking, as I've mentioned before, all the other YouTube channels that have shown our channel support. Tony, Devin, fucking Carmine, fucking Roarist. The fucking, like, the main ones that have just had us on and, like, fucking promote the shit out of us and fucking talk awesome shit. So it's a lot of other people. I have King McKay, fucking lots of love to King McKay, who's fucking amazing. And if you not subscribed to King McKay, you're missing out. Does incredible Vikings content, really awesome Game of Thrones stuff too. So lots of really cool people out there. And I'm gonna shut the fuck up now, Phil. Shut the fuck up out there, you asshole. Bye. Bye, motherfuckers. Lots of love. Shine on you, crazy motherfucking diamond. Remember when I was young, I did shine like the motherfucking sun. Now there's that look in my eye, like black holes in the sky. Shine. Frightened by shadows at night, exposed to the light. I had to end things creepy. You have to be trusted by the people that you lie to. So when they turn their backs on you, you get the chance to put the knife in. You put the knife in. You have to be trusted by the people that you lie to. So when they turn their backs on you, when a light drips its fruit, a boy reads a book A girl cries in the sensation of humanity's grip of sensation's piss. Dark and rain smiles to kind. Lover of the father, see